Good morning, everyone, and very welcome to this meeting on a subject that I think interests everyone in San Miguel. The Pipila is the place with most traffic compared to any other place in San Miguel de Allende, and I think we are all looking very much forward to the day when we can pass this place a little bit easier than right now. If you start calculating on the time that is wasted waiting to get across, it's a big number. But anyway, our speaker, Juan Alberto Ponce, is coming from the state of Guanajuato, in the city of Guanajuato, and it's coming from SICOM. SICOM is a Secretariat of Infrastructure, Connectivity, and Mobility in the state of Guanajuato. My Zoom is out. My Zoom is out.
No, you are fine, Ivar. You are fine. We can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, that's
yes,
the most important.
You are fine.
Sorry. So SICOM is established last year, actually in August last year, a project unit. And the aim of that project unit was to promote better economic activities in Guanajuato. And that is, of course, good, and especially right now. And they do projects themselves, and they do public-private partnership projects for infrastructure. And our speaker today is a civil engineer specializing in construction. So he will know a lot about what we're going to experience, hopefully very soon, in San Miguel de Allende. I think that is all I need to say at the moment, just to welcome and let all of us welcome Senor Ponce as the speaker. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Alberto Ponce. Thank you very much for thank you very much to the Rotary Club of San Miguel de Allende for the invitation to talk about the work of the Pipila Bridge. The work takes place at the access coming from Celaya to the beautiful city of San Miguel de Allende in the roundabout known as El Pipila. The geometric and structural solution of the bridge was based on criteria of structural safety, functionality, economic, and aesthetic. I am accompanied at the meeting by the engineers Paulo Jimenez and Jose Juan Lozano, who give an explanation to the details to the project, design, and status of the work. Please go ahead, engineers Paulo and Jose Juan.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Paulo, you're going to need to unmute. There you go.
Okay, may I have permission to share my screen, please?
You should be able to share now.
Well, again, good morning, everyone. I'm Jose Juan Lozano. I'm civil engineer, and I'm in the project management in the Secretary of Infrastructure, Connectivity, and Mobility of the state of Guanajuato. So all your questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. So let's start. As you know, San Miguel de Allende has become one of the most popular cities in the world. Also, many tourists from around the world visit the city every year. Local and foreign vehicular traffic has increased over the years. The growth of vehicular traffic has increased travel time for all who use the road and has resulted in economic losses, pollution, and health problems. In the picture, you can see the previous state of the roundabout at Pipila in San Miguel de Allende. Siguiente, Paulo, por favor. The existing intersection through the Pipila roundabout allows vehicular control in 4 directions to San Miguel de Allende, Celaya, Querétaro, and Dolores Hidalgo. Due to high vehicular flow in different directions, the roundabout doesn't provide the vehicular capacity and level of service with a free flow. Currently, the service level of the intersection is an F level, that is an unstable flow with low vehicular speeds. In 2019, at the intersection, there was a vehicle capacity of 53,615 vehicles. The most critical moments are the ones heading towards to Querétaro and Dolores Hidalgo, traffic directions number 11 and number 15. Therefore, we have taken the decision to build a vehicular underpass in those directions with a straight free movement. But why a vehicular underpass? First of all, it's important to mention that the operation of a bridge must meet 4 conditions: to be safe, efficient, economic, and aesthetic. The vehicular underpass is safe and efficient because it reduces vehicular times and accidents by solving other vehicular traffic movements that will be managed by a traffic light intersection at the level of the street. It's economic because the cost-benefit analysis shows that a vehicular underpass is around 25% cheaper than building a high bridge, a vehicular overpass. This analysis was justified to the Secretary of the Treasury. Finally, the bridge was designed to be aesthetic, trying to stand out the urban image and to keep the same architectonic language and harmony of this site. The next slide shows some rendered perspectives of what the intersection and vehicular underpass will look like in the future. Okay, now we'll talk about some project features. Construction of a 524.8 meters long vehicular underpass. The vehicular underpass consists of 4 lines, 2 per directions, with a total road width of 13.6 meters, including a pluvial pumping station. As mentioned, the vehicular underpass includes traffic lights, but also includes hydrosanitary and electrical services. This model that you can see was made using a building information modeling. Now, a brief explanation of the project schedule. The activities are shown by months until the month of November 2020, that will be the end of the construction. And the following items are included: the roads are pavement roads, retaining walls, bridge, signaling, traffic lights, urban image, environment actions, hydraulic pipes, sanitary drainage, pumping station, street lighting, relocation of electrical infrastructure, etc. The activities carried out according to the program are shown in green, and the total project activities in blue. Today, an accumulated real physical advance of 46.8% and a program advance of 42.8% are reported. Well, now I give the word to the engineer, Paulo Jimenez.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to talk about activities in process. So on this slide is represent the axis 50 and the axis 60, both on direction Dolores Hidalgo to Querétaro from left to right. As we can see, on the middle is where the beams of the bridge are located. The underpass uses a pile wall system for a total number of 740 piles. At this moment, we have done 99% of the piles. That left a total of 4 remaining piles. The length of the piles range from 8.3 to 28 meters. That's because the properties of the soil, the cantilever itself of the wall of the pile wall system, and the depth of the pumping station. Well, here we are going to see the advance in foundation piles. First of all, we have a brief video of the drilling of the foundation piles. So in the following photos, we can see the process of the crane lifting the reinforcing steel to introduce into the drilling hole. Once the reinforcing steel is in place, the concrete is cast into the piles. The project of the underpass has a total of 39 box beams and a special beam. I'm going to talk about this one on the next slide. That beam is one on pink. We have mounted a total of 21 beams, so there are 18 beams remaining. So the special beam is shown in the upper left photo. It is designed to flow the rainwater that comes from Celaya access, as well as from the side of the Essick to Querétaro and the entry of Dolores Hidalgo. The slab above the beam is designed to receive and resist live and dead loads without contact with the special beam. The beam connects to the rain drain boxes at the ends. The top right photo shows the beam mounting. The bottom left photo shows a top view of the beams already in place. And in the lower right corner, we have a short video of the mounting process. As my partner says, in the vehicular underpass, we are using building information modeling for job monitoring. So here we can see how the software shows the progress of the excavation. The top photo is heading towards Dolores Hidalgo, and the bottom photo is heading towards Querétaro. And well, in this slide, we can see the actual and how it really looks like the excavation process. Previously, we talked about drilling and casting concrete in piles. Once the concrete has reached the required strength, excavation proceeds, and as a result, the wall of piles can be seen. In these photos, we can see the real progress of the excavation. The first photo was taken heading towards Dolores Hidalgo, and the second is heading towards Querétaro. At the start of the ramps, there is no need to use the pile wall system. Concrete retaining walls are used instead. On these pictures, we can see the progress of the retaining wall. On the west side of the underpass that is heading towards Dolores Hidalgo, axis 50 is already done. So here we can see the axis 50 on green. The total axis is done. And on axis 60, there are 4 retaining wall blocks remaining to be done, the gray ones. Here we are, there are. On the east side, that is heading towards Querétaro, the construction of the retaining walls has not yet started. These images are from the construction process of the retaining walls. First, the trench is dug, a concrete layer is placed, and the footing and wall reinforcement steel is placed and cast. At the end, the back of the wall is filled. This view is from the west side, heading toward Dolores Hidalgo. This slide shows the progress of the pavement structure and shows the base layer. The top 3 photos correspond to the axis from Dolores Hidalgo. That's the west side. In the lower left corner is the road to downtown. And the remaining 2 images are of the exit to Celaya. On this part of the presentation, we are going to talk about subsequent works. According to the project schedule, 120 meters of 10-inch diameter drainage pipe will be built. As we can see, there are 120 meters here we have, and this is how it looks in the beam, in the building information model. Also, we're going to build 6-inch water distribution pipes. The total length is about 350 meters. As Jose Juan says, the underpass had a pluvial pumping station. The pump station has a function of pumping rainwater from the vehicle's underpass to the surface. There are 3 project pumps, 2 running 24 hours, and 1 is an emergency pump in case one stops working. The station will have electronic sensor that detect the water level and start the pumps. The 3rd pump can also start in the event of an extraordinary flood and will be the 3 pumps working together. In this slide, we can see on the left side the current situation of the works, and on the right side the render of the final image of the project. In the upper right corner, a better finish is observed in the pile system in the view of the Pipila monument. So in this part, we are not going to see just the pile system. This is the axis from Querétaro, and we are going to see the Pipila monument. The image in the lower left shows a drone photo of the current process of the works. On the right, an aerial perspective is shown. Here, you can see the location of the Pipila monument. That is here. On the right, so this is the axis from Querétaro. These are the final image of how the vehicular underpass will look like. In the first image, we can see the size and the axis from Querétaro, where you can see the location of the monument, the signs, and the pedestrian crossing. The second image shows one of the greatest contributions of the project. According to the mobility law of the state of Guanajuato, priority will be given to the pedestrian crossing with the help of the installation of programmed traffic lights, making the crossing safe and at ground level. So this is how the presentation ends. And thank you everyone for your attention.
Paulo, Jose, and Alberto, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to put together that very interesting and informative presentation. We do have some questions, if you can hang around and answer some of them. One of the big questions that a lot of people had was, what are we going to do with all that water during the rain season? But it looks to me like you've put in a very effective pumping station. Anybody want to comment on that? You're all muted there. Alberto, Jose?
Can I add, where is the water going to be pumped to?
Well, that's a good question, Gary. Gentlemen, I know that you had mentioned there are going to be these 6-inch pipes that are going to distribute the water. Where does it go to? Not sure that
Pablo.
Well, it's the pipe distribution system of the network. It's part of the buildings and the sentiments around. There is to give continuity to the water transmission system of all the network.
Okay. Are the pumps automatic, or will there be an accumulation of water in the tunnel?
No, the pumps are automatic, and they are going to have electronic sensors that will detect the rise of the water level in each side of the special beam. There are special drainage boxes. But this is one part, and then this is the water that comes from Celaya and from the top side of the laterals. They are going to pass through the special beam. The special beam has a particular boxes, and it will continue with the current fluvial drainage. And we have also that special pump station, and we are going to have two pumps, and they are already to work 24 hours, and they work with electro sensors and detects the level of the rising of the level of the water. In case if there is an extraordinary flood, the third bomb can start and work together with the other two. And if one of those bombs doesn't work well, the third bomb it be prepared to start and get the work done.
What would happen if there's a severe storm in the area? And I would imagine that the pumps they probably all operate by electricity, do they not? If power gets knocked out, is there an emergency generator that would power the pumps? Anybody want to answer that question?
Yes.
Paulo?
Yes. There is a generator in case of going out with electricity.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yes, there is.
One other question that we have, and by the way, folks, if you do have questions, hit the chat button on the bottom of your screen and type it in, and we'll get to it. We have plenty of time. A question was asked about when will the traffic lights that begin up way up at the top of the hill by the mall coming down, when will those traffic lights be operational? Because right now, all they do is blink red.
José Juan, por favor, please.
Skip, I think they need to translate first.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Right. Leila, can you pop in and ask the question in Spanish? When will the traffic lights be operational?
I can, I think.
Okay, Susan.
Señores, queremos saber cuándo serían los semáforos funcionando que están arriba, a Luciérnaga.
No es un proyecto del municipio.
Sí, la pregunta es que si saben cuándo funcionarían los semáforos que están en la parte de la Luciérnaga.
Los semáforos de la Luciérnaga los está colocando el municipio, no el estado. Necesitamos verificar con ellos.
Okay, so the answer is that those are being put in by the municipality, not by the state. So that's information they would need to get from them.
Okay, all right. Does anybody else have any other questions? No? Okay.
I think that there were some questions, Skip, about pedestrian crossings.
He answered that.
Right. That was answered in the presentation. They've put in crosswalks, and I would imagine, and Leila, you might want to be able to translate that, the crosswalks will probably operate with traffic signals as well to allow pedestrians to cross.
That's what they said, but we can verify if you want.
Well, they talked about the one that's going towards Dolores Hidalgo, but the piece that goes from La Comer to the plaza with the Italian coffee company, is there going to be a crosswalk there? That was my question on the leg that goes to Salida.
Sí, nada más para verificar si va a haber cruce de peatonal entre la parte donde en la salida Celaya, donde está el Pipila ahorita, para conectar caminando la Mega con el Italian Coffee Shop, o con la Plaza del Pipila, creo que se llama.
Es correcto.
Sí. Perfecto, gracias.
Okay. I would imagine that with the weather, we're in the rainy season now, but it's not been as rainy as a lot of people have been expecting. So the question is there any chance that the project will be done earlier?
Si tenemos buen clima, ¿creen que hay alguna oportunidad de que se termine antes el proyecto?
Principios de...
Sí, no se escuchó ahí con hay un poco de ruido de fondo.
No.
I believe he said it'd be ready at the beginning of next year, but there was this background noise of people talking, so I'm not sure.
All right.
It's
Okay,
at beginnings of November.
Beginnings of November. Okay.
Ah, very, very good. We're going to leave it at that. Alberto and Jose. And let's see who else was with us. Manuel. I don't know who's got something going on like that. Sound like a garbage disposal. But we thank you, gentlemen, for being with us this morning and sharing that very important information. Our next week, our guest is going to be Susan Bickle. She will be joining us from Staying Healthy SMA, or Be Well SMA, I beg your pardon. And we're going to get an update on treatment of COVID-19 here in San Miguel de Allende. There are some new things that you should know about. So I think you'll find it to be a very, very interesting and informative session. With that, we're going to turn it over to Tom Schneider, who's got a little message for us. Tom, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. We've had great speakers and continue to have great projects with the Midday Club of Rotary San Miguel de Allende. We need more funding. We stopped having Happy Pesos and the wine raffle and some of the little things that did it. It's very easy to get to our website. I encourage all of you, when you hit the leave button, you're going to go back to your initial email. The website address is right there. You can click on it and you can click on the donate button in there. We used to only charge, or we used to hope for 50 pesos, 100 pesos. You can give 500 pesos now for all the times you missed, but it's very easy. You can put your credit card in there. You can use PayPal. We could really use some support from the people that are enjoying this. So thanks very much. Back to you, Skip. Remember, hit the leave button and then hit the San Miguel Day, the website button. It'll be right on that page. Thank you.